Action continues to roll on from Las Vegas Motor Speedway for SuperKarts USA SuperNationals 28. That's one main event in the books. And from some of the rising talents in motorsports to some of the wily veterans, KA100 Masters main event presented by Orsolone Racing is getting set to go green. And we're getting ready to bring you the full lineup. A sold-out grid, nearly 50 deep in total. And what a performance by the boys in blue and pink. Rollison Performance Group getting ready to lead the field to green for the 22-lap main event on tap. Big Ben Cooper on the pole. Alongside him, Chris Wareheim, who has stood on the podium in X30 Senior. Ben Cooper has won in Pro X30 in recent years. These are two drivers who know what it takes to get to the front of the Supernationals, and no surprise at all, they're at the front of your KA100 Master field. John Bonanno has had a very busy KA100 Masters American National season. He starts alongside Travis Irving, representing the West Coast with GFC Formula Works. Renato Yater and Martin Stone on row 3. Kip Foster and Miguel Mir make up row 4. Pierce Baldus and Carlos Calderon, row number 5. That's your first 10 starters and beyond. Mario Barrios and Derek Wang roll from row number 6. It'll be Paul Elefante and Anthony Stifler on row 7. David Shorn and Christian Vomir back on row number 8. And then it goes back on to play settles. Ariel Castro, Andrea Del Fonte, and through your rest of the field for KA100 Master. Another big one on tap here, folks, for the Supernats. And a windy Sunday afternoon in Las Vegas continues. A bit of overcast skies. That's going to mean these engines will be screaming by the end of the main straightaway as we take you to the rest of the starting lineup. How about Scott Falcone, David Goldman about midway through the field. William Isaias has also run at the front of the Masters category over the last few years. Paul Montopoli back on row 16 alongside Dan Jones, and we continue to bring you the rest of the lineup through your first 20 rows of the field, but it doesn't stop there. Again, a packed house, a sold-out class, one of many divisions that was filled up to the brim in the first week. Registration opened all the way back in August. Unfortunately, we won't see Kyle Uchinski on the grid, neither will we see Tom Gerstner. Sadly, could not make it to the end of the weekend. There was no class that could escape Fanatic Friday, unfortunately, without a few drivers having to withdraw from the event for one reason or another. But as Rob Howden makes his way back up to the booth, and Mike Smith does as well to join us, we're ready for another dose of Supernationals main events, ladies and gentlemen. And Rollison Performance Group has the front row. Ben Cooper on the right, Chris Wareheim in the white suit on the left. 22 laps in total, and it's just about that time to get the last few rows into the tram lanes as they approach that bright blue start cone. That's the beginning of the box. Anywhere inside those two blue cones, Ben can hit the gas. He's on it now, and here we go. KA100 Master is green. Problems off the rip there. Martin Stone shuffled to the wayside in turn 1. Otherwise, everyone else able to make it through cleanly. And as they roll into turn 4, one spun around. Ariel Castro goes for a ride in the 4th turn. It's Bonanno to 2nd, Yater to 3rd, and a big gap about from 6th on back as they roll to the infield. Wareheim from the outside of the front row back to P5. And the speed continues through turn 8 here, Mike. First pass in the main pack is going to be Kip Foster down the inside on the BJRLN Kart. He'll get to 3rd.
There you go. You have Bonanno and then Foster and then Jotter David and Wareheim. So big shakeup here to kick things off. Fonseca probably the big winner there right out of the gate, trying to get things through to finish out lap 1.
1 lap in the books, 21 laps to go. Pass for 2nd. The Aussies on the move. Kip Foster with another send in turn 1. He'll overshoot it. John Bonanno with a nice crossover. He'll take back P2, and just like that, Ben Cooper's going to get a big lead, and the battle continues down to turn 4, Mike.
That's exactly what they did not want to happen, right? You end up having Ben Cooper out there able to cut qualifying lap after qualifying lap. He's going to be able to pull out, and already 8/10 last time by. You know it's more than that after Foster's attempt. Bonanno, Foster, Wareheim now in front of David. That's going to be your top 5. Irving trying to chase Baldus, Barrios, Calderon, and David Shorn up to the 10th spot.
So how about that? 1.5 laps in the books. Another move there. Chris Wareheim trying to make up for lost ground. He knows his teammate is already trying to scoot away in the early going of this main. You saw him tap the helmet and say, let's go forward. Here he goes looking for 2nd on Bonanno to the inside. Turn 1, P2. Wareheim is on by.
Mike Smith, I got a question for you. What kind of urgency do you have right now if you're sitting in that second position? You're seeing Cooper pull away like that, a solid advantage over a second and a half right now. I think Wareheim's like, okay, hold on. I know I got a car to go up and potentially win this thing. I got to get to the front, hence why he was up on the wheel so quickly.
Yeah, and good news for him. Good news for him.
We'll come back to Mike here momentarily. Let's get you in there, Mike.
Yeah.
We got to work on that with Mike's headset. We'll get that dialed in here momentarily. Cooper is the leader, as I said, by 1.4 seconds. Nice little advantage for the former X30 senior winner out there cleanly right now. And again, let's go back to you, Mike, about Wareheim. Yeah, there's a sense of urgency. You can't let, we talked about this yesterday, you can't let Ben Cooper pull away like that.
No, look at the big tuck from Wareheim. He's going to go all in to try to make this happen. Good news for him, it's Kip Foster and Johnny David behind him. So if there's a chance of guys working together, this is probably the best lineup you could ask for.
I do want to throw this out there for you, just for those of you watching at home. Talk about an amazing top five. Wareheim's the only guy that hasn't won at the SuperNationals. We're talking Cooper, Foster, Yoder, and then, of course, Irving back at Sam Boyd Stadium. And a little tidbit for you. I believe Travis Irving, the only driver to win at the SuperNationals on a four-stroke engine. There's some trivia for you. On a four-stroke, on the Beeland. On a two-cylinder, four-stroke Beeland, which was part of that tag program back in the day. So that's a little bit for you. But listen, this guy's been running SuperKarts USA since back in the 2000s. Hot Rocks was a top driver in the Formula S2 category before going car racing back in the day. So I love seeing Travis back. He's lighter. He's in better shape than he was when he was running S2 back in the 90s.
Well, that's a great point, too. Travis is talking about cutting weight over the last handful of years. He is in probably the best shape of his life right now. And you know what? That ride looks pretty good right now. I think he might have an extra cylinder in there, right, as you're talking about two-cylinder, because he is rolling and now on the back bumper of Jotter.
Yeah, this is what we got going on right now, folks. Cooper with a 1.4 second lead. It's going to be in the hands of Chris Wareheim. He's got about a half a second. He's got some breathing room. The RPG drivers run 1-2. Wareheim, a driver through over his career, has won a ton of races, WK Manufacturers Cup, moved into some Skip Barber Formula Car racing as well. One of the noted coaches in the paddock over the last many years, but getting a chance to come racing here. Does he have what it takes to reel into the lead? Last time by, a 50.920 for Cooper. Hey, guess who went purple? Why not make it fun here on lap number 4? Chris Wareheim, fastest driver on the racetrack.
Let's see, carry the one. Yeah, that's going to be 16 laps to go. We need to find 1.4. We were 1/10. Yeah, that math checks. We're in the convo. He just needs to keep doing what he's doing. And you know what? He's digging. You see him ducking and whatnot.
Oh, he's on it.
And who does he need to catch? Ben Cooper. Okay, that's pretty freaking tough. But how about your teammate at the same time?
That's
you guys are sharing the same tent, sharing the same data most likely too.
Well, listen, and he's digging because he's trying to get away as well. Kip Foster has worked his way up into the third spot. There's that next group there of Renato Jader David, Travis Irving. Right in there as well is Pierce Baldus and John Bonanno. They've got a big gap back from them to Mario Barrios. Not a big gap, but enough of a gap back to Barrios alongside Calderon.
Move there by Baldus and a counter move by Irving. And those guys are actually right. Again, it goes Foster, Yoder, Irving, Baldus, and Bonanno now slip back to the tail of that group, but they're all nose to tail. It does look like if there's going to be anyone who has a shot at Cooper, it might only be Wareheim at this point.
And listen, shout out to Kip Foster. He had a bit kind of a rougher start to the weekend. Kip's been kind of on the mend. He's been on the shelf with the knee surgery, just finally being able to get back behind the wheels. So great to have him here, an injury playing basketball, able to get back at it. And as we know, Kip Foster, 4-time winner of this race, runs now in the third spot. You give him some time to get up to speed, and he's going to do it. That driver in the Brandon Jarsa Crack Racing, LN number 420. Currently sitting in third spot, leading that next group. Here's a battle further back. That's a good split pass there for the 408 to Paul Elefante. Able to get by David Shorn into turn number 4. That's the fight back there for 10th, 11th, and 12th. There's Clay Settles as well. Settles up on the wheel, and that top guard, he runs 13th. So, man, there's a really good fight. The driver's trying to get into the top 10 here.
Settles to the inside right there, kind of a slide job out of perfect.
I like it.
Hey, that was all right. That's SuperNationals racing here. That's perfect.
I don't know why Elefante was raising the hand there. Yeah, he may have not liked that pass, but come on. There wasn't really even any contact there. Maybe a light touch. That's it. There is a meatball flag for a driver here, Mike.
Yeah, we'll see. That's going to mean they got some kind of mechanical. It's almost always a bumper, so
Yeah,
we'll see what
I was
happens.
going to say, look for a rear bumper right there, the 404. The 404 with a rear bumper coming up. That's Andrea Del Fonte. Yeah, Del Fonte with a broken right rear bumper mount, so he'll be out of this race momentarily. But this is a fight going on still. Look at this stuff. Bonanno getting to the inside of Irving. I'll tell you, John Bonanno really believed that he had a Kart to potentially win this thing. Not a great start for him. Fell back to 7th position, but he's got himself back up to P6. This is good stuff right now. This could be, listen, on its own, this could be a battle for a race win that we would love at the Super Nationals. You're talking Foster, Jotter, and Irving. Former winners 1, 2, 3. The RPG drivers bolting out right now. We're going to keep looking at lap times. But Cooper just went purple, and he's pulled away by 1.5.
Yeah, trying to keep an eye on the actual gaps there, but yeah, as you can see,
Irving just got through.
exactly that. Yeah, I mean, the gaps are trying to close in the front, but as you say, this is the battle we're looking at. Irving, the ebb and flow of this race at the front. Who's a little bit better at different points? Maybe a small, tiny little mistake, and then there's the advantage for the other driver.
Yeah, and I think these guys kind of have a feeling that they're not going to be in this fight here. With Cooper out front, with nobody to challenge him, he's not having to run any defensive line. He's not low lining. These are quality laps. This is straight up racing line, start to finish for Ben Cooper. And you and I talked about it yesterday in the final heat race. They simply cannot let Ben Cooper in any kind of a gap that he's able to pull away. Now, saying that, Wareheim continues to push. It's still 1.5 seconds, but again, here's one thing. 5 laps in, 17 laps to go. Who's got the Kart setup that's going to come in at the end of the race? 1.5 seconds feels like a lot. It is not anything when you go into the tail end of this race. When you get into that 15 to 20 laps. Big move there by Travis Irving. Hot Rocks getting it rolling with the GFC for Formula Works. He's going to go to P3. He slips by Foster. Irving up on the wheel.
Yeah, you can tell that they got this thing rolling for the second half of the race. It looked like he might have been slipping a little bit, but Travis Irving rolling here out of turn 10.
Listen, Kip Foster's a veteran driver. He got passed. He got reeled in and passed by Irving. He knows better than to throw it down to the inside. He knows that, listen, we got a long way to go. Again, 10 laps in, 10 laps to go, or 12 laps to go, rather. These guys can work together.
Yeah, just now looking at the live time, it looks like it's updated on my screen here. So
we're down at 5 when I look down.
Yeah, the timing is looking. I can't quite tell fast lap wise. At least the lap count looks right. But I think Werheim is actually running slightly faster than Cooper because he's getting closer and closer. And to your point about Foster, you see it on screen. He's staying in the wheel tracks of Irving. Hey, you know what? Let's make it just a mano-a-mano fight for third if that's the way it's going to be. Let these guys keep doing what they're doing behind us.
This is kind of reminding me of the race we just saw, right? 2 drivers up front. If Werheim keeps doing what he's doing, last time 0.03 of a second back, I said it was 1.5. Call it 0.7 of a second, the gap between first and second. We're going to have a battle for P1 and P2, a battle for P3 and P4. Let's talk draft now, though. Is he in DRS range?
Yeah, well, you could see he's trying to make it small of a frame. Look, Chris Werheim's not the shortest dude on the planet.
No, he's not.
And he's doing, and you know what? Neither is Ben Cooper.
No.
These guys are trying to make as small air. Look at that. They're doing everything they can. Ben Cooper can't get that low in that thing.
He can't.
I got to give
Well,
kudos to Werheim.
You think about this.
Travis.
Cooper, Werheim, and Irving, they're probably all 6 feet tall, for goodness sakes. They're not like the 5'6", 5'7", the Larry Mardans, the guys that are nice down, like super cool low in the go-kart, right? These guys are up there.
Yeah, and look, dude, there it is. Just close enough to get inside that draft this time by for Werheim.
And Werheim was a 10th quicker, over a 10th on the last lap. Knock it down to 0.568. 12 down, 10 to go.
We've seen this before. RPG versus RPG.
Oh,
a couple
here we go.
years ago,
Yep.
Cooper leading, teammate chasing.
Who's it going to be today? Cooper come away with another one. I believe 2 wins already for Cooper. Does he grab his 3rd win? We'll see.
I'll tell you what, that 416 of Werheim, watch how it rotates into the corner. He drives it the way I like to, too. Like, back that thing in. You see Travis Irving doing something similar. They're really getting that side bite through the center of the corner, able to drive off. Foster staying with them, but the fight for the lead is going to be coming on here, Rob. I would imagine this next time by, just outside of our screen, he's going to be on him.
I'll tell you, down to less than a half a second right now. Good stuff here. 3 wins for Ben Cooper. This would be his 4th if he can come away with it. 3 victories for Ben Cooper. Does he become a 4-time winner? Yeah, the one I forgot is he's won an X30 Senior. He's won in KA100 Master. Gotta go back to 2013 in the Soggy Nationals. He won DD2.
Look at this. This is
Right?
going to be the best draft opportunity for Werheim. Inside that turn 4 area, we're talking about that little bit of headwind. If there is one, it's going to be going in that section. This is great stuff.
Is it going to be a 4-time winner or a 1-time winner? First time for Werheim, or does Cooper put 4 on the mantle? I don't know. Werheim looks so good right now. Look at this. He is closed right up. I'll tell you, folks, it'll be 15 laps when they come back around. 7 laps to go. The question is, does Werheim go right by and try to pull away?
I would say yes. I mean, honestly, you did this work to catch him on merit.
Yep.
Right? Now you've got a little bit of a draft. The question is, do you really think you got enough to pull away from Ben? I mean, Ben's not laying anything out there. This is all they got. These are quality laps for both these drivers. I would imagine going for it right away, especially maybe your number 2 or 3 favorite passing spot, not your favorite one. I don't think I want to just hang out here because Ben Cooper's been able to lay down some laps in the last 25% of a race before.
RPG runs 1-2. What a great battle further back. The GFC of Irving, the Brandon Just Crack Racing, LN Kart for Foster. You got the Orslod Racing, Tony for Yoder, and Bonanno on the comp cart there as well. Yeah, I think we got to move there. I was wondering whether or not it happened. Yoder able to get by Kip Foster. Move RJD up into the 3rd spot.
We've got a great fight now. You're going to have a conversation for the win. Look at that rotation by Werheim. I love it. And then right behind him, what a fight for the 3rd spot and 4th spot and 5th spot on the podium.
And you know we're going to stack the views for you up on top and on the bottom when we get a chance. Good stuff. Renato Jadre David goes by Irving as well. Foster on the outside. Irving's going to try to fill the bottom. Bonanno with an opportunity to potentially come in. He doesn't capitalize. Look at the over-under for Foster. He'll go alongside. These guys realize now, and Bonanno's going to come through as well. Book it. Little flick into the corner there, Mike.
Yeah, you saw Travis was going to try to go into the corner and saw a whole lot of comp cart to the inside, so he had to do a little whoopsie and get back in line. Don't count out Baldus either.
Yeah.
Baldus right in the combo.
Top 7 drivers within 5 seconds as, of course, the leaders have checked out, but 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th right there for the final 3 positions on the podium. RPG versus RPG up front, Cooper and Werheim. We're going to get a 4-time winner, or someone's going to be on top of the box for the first time here in Las Vegas. Here comes the move further back. Baldus is going to go to the inside as well. Irving falls to the tail of the field. He'll try to cross him up on the exit.
You see him playing with the needles, trying to find a little bit more here in the closing stages. Maybe he can lean that thing out, get just a little bit more to try to take this fight to these guys side by side at turn number 8. Foster, David. Bonanno's going to go with David.
Yeah, listen, Bonanno hasn't made a pass yet. He's just followed these guys through. That's really good racing. He's known exactly where to be. He has followed Jadre twice now to move his way now up into 4th. Bonanno getting ready to pull the trigger on Renato Jadre David as well. There's your leaders up front. 18 laps down. A number of drivers getting sent off to the track. The black flag coming for those who are getting ready to be lapped by your leaders. We clear them off. The tight confines of the racing here at the SuperNats. You don't want to have those guys out. Oh, Bonanno thinks about it. No. And I'll tell you, Jadre still running the racing line. 4 to go, Mike. 4 laps to go.
Yeah, you can see that down the straightaway, there's a little bit of a peak, but not there. Maybe not having enough because of the tailwind, perhaps down the back straightaway. Another good opportunity right here for 10. Bonanno is close. And there's the slide. He makes a mistake. Gets on the back of bumper of David. He's going to keep going. He's not out of it yet, but advantage now to Foster. They're going to be able to break away just a little bit. Bonanno, that was close.
You know, over in 4 and over in 10, John was trying to keep that look to the inside, but he's got a little too deep in there. And as he was kind of rotating already in, got on the brake, and it pushed wide. That's going to make this a Jadre-Foster battle. Both these drivers, of course, former winners here at the SuperNats now, fighting for 3rd and 4th.
I'll tell you what, you make that shorter line, right? You basically turn in a little earlier, you close the distance. That's where he met him, just a little bit right at the turn in.
But this thing is coming to a head up front as Werheim continues to close. He's 0.3 of a second back. Now it's the fight. There's your leaders. Let's go back to that, but we do have that fight for 3rd and 4th, and maybe just P5 all alone. 3rd and 4th may be able to pull away. These are the leaders. More lap traffic in front that will get the black flag this time by. That driver will pull off to the outside of the racetrack. Hopefully enough time to be able to get out of the way of the turn-in point. Indeed, he'll go off track. It's coming down to this. 2 laps to go in KA100 Master. This category brought to you by Orsalon Racing. Cooper versus Wareheim. Wareheim is there. Here we go. He has not made the pass early. Chris wanting to wait to the very end of this one. Mike, we're going to see the white flag next time by. Any predictions on where it comes?
I'll tell you right now, I was wondering if he'd be close enough to make it happen. There's our split. You can see the battle for third on the bottom, the battle for the lead up top. We're going to keep an eye on both because they're great ones. This is his first. Look at that. He opens it up and cuts under. Perfectly done.
Over under coming from Cooper. They're going to go side by side. I think Wareheim's going to have enough of it on the inside. Cooper's going to have to come back. Chris Wareheim has gone to the lead. He told me he thought he could win this race. Cooper's going to go side by side on the exit. This is what we're talking about, the photo op for Rollison Performance Group. Cooper goes back to the lead. This is it here. Final lap. Cooper's got it. Wareheim with a beautiful tight exit. Can he get to the inside? No. Low line down to the bottom. These are 2 veteran drivers winning many races in their career. Can Cooper become a 4-timer? Oh my goodness. Wareheim trying to throw it in. Here's the over-under run. Oh, Cooper checked him up a little. Down to the bottom. They're going to be side by side. Cooper still got it. Wareheim, he's been in this spot before. Down to the bottom. Here comes the big over-under for Wareheim. He gets a great run out of turn number 10. Not enough. Cooper's going to hold him to the outside. One more shot at it. Ascend down the bottom. Cooper to the bottom of the racetrack. It's not going to be enough. They're going to be side by side in the line. Who's it going to be? We got ourselves a 4-time winner. BC Ben Cooper wins by 52 thousandths of a second. Wareheim comes up just short. Foster over Yoder for P3. And oh my goodness, what happened on the final lap? Carlos Calderon ends up P5. I didn't even see it happen. Calderon up to 5th. 10th to 5th for the NorCal pilot.
Yeah, and Mario Barrio 6th.
Unbelievable. Let's go down quickly to see if we get any kind of chatter at
Once you scale, go right over there.
Okay, thank you.
Nice one, Ben. Nice battle. So fast.
Mike, that's the kind of racing you get when you put so many former Super Nationals champions in that lead group. Cooper, Wareheim was trying to get that first one behind them. Foster, Yoder, everybody up in the middle of the fight. We didn't see what happened at the end. Bonanno ends up in 7th, Irving in 8th. How about Larry Mardan? Laurentiu Mardan plus 34. A horrible weekend for Mardan the entire time. He comes all the way up from deep in the field. Laurentiu Mardan, 9th spot, well done. And there you have it, folks. A celebration happening. Bonner Moulton in there as well. And down, David Land standing by with our race winner.
Well, Ben Cooper, you are a 4-time winner here at SuperNats, but you had to work for that one.
Yeah, well, yeah. My job is to make sure we get some RPGs up front, and me and Chris have been probably the quickest all weekend. To be fair to Chris, he was quickest in practice, and I think he struggled a bit in qualifying, didn't quite get the lap, and that meant, qualifying is so important when you get that pole and you can kind of dictate the race. And to be honest, the kart felt fantastic on about lap 8, and I was like, oh no, that's not good, because the end of the race is going to be struggling. And for some reason, I went to the hard left on the far side, and honestly, I thought it was raining because I just lost the rear end, and then I lost a bit of momentum. Took me a lap to get back into it, and then it was consistent lap times. Obviously, Chris has the slipstream, the draft, so he can hang on in there. But I heard him coming, and yeah, he went maybe a lap earlier than I thought he was going to go, and then it was just a cool, respectful fight at the end. How racing should be, which was awesome.
Yeah, and you guys gave each other a salute right there at the end. I mean, I've never seen a congratulations after a photo finish that quickly. I mean, just kind of talk about that moment.
Well, either way, we're here to make sure RPG's up front, and whether he's winning, I'm winning. Obviously, we both want to win, and it's easy for me to say when either one of us wins. The main job is to have RPG up the front, and we had 1-2 again. That's now 3 years in a row for RPG, 1-2 on the podium, so we're super happy.
And a second year in a row for Ben Cooper, and a great day for RPG.
Yeah, not only does RPG grab the big trophy first and second, but it's also a little testament to the coaches they have under their tent. Both, of course, Ben Cooper and Chris Wareheim, driver coaches. Ben worked actually with me when I was there in 2022. Yeah, you have your coaches going out and showing you they can get the job done. It's just that little extra, right? Listen, this guy knows how to win races.
Yeah. Hey, are you sure about that? Yeah, trust me. I got it. Yeah. Those two guys putting on a show.
Mike,
Excellent job.
I'm going to let you roll through the unofficial results. I'm going to head down to victory lane.
Exactly. Yeah, you got Ben Cooper, as we just talked about, just 52 thousandths in front of Chris Werheim, the top two drivers. Kip Foster coming away with third, just in front of Renato Jader. Carlos Calderon, we didn't see how it happened. Maybe we'll be able to sneak a little highlight later about that. Carlos Calderon and Mario Barrios 5th and 6th. John Bonanno holding on for 7th. Travis Erthing 8th. Lorenzo Mardan, I think it was up 34 spots. Incredible in 9th. And rounding at your top 10, Clay Settles. And I do think we've got a recap for us. Maybe we'll be able to have that aforementioned run there in this recap. Once again, the top 10 excellent drives all the way through the Masters group. And you see our KA100 seniors getting ready to go. And here we go, our Coastal Inc. recap. Again, the start was all the 31 there of Cooper, but then there's Baldus on the inside there, and with contact, I think at the short end of the stick is Martin Stone. Castro, didn't see how it happened. He ends up backwards in turn number 4. Then things started to kick off with Foster getting the job done. Bonanno at the crossover, and that was kind of that fight, but Werheim had to get through that first before he could go set sights. So you can see right here, Foster pushing him on through and get things done there on Bonanno. Irving, one of the drivers in that front group, getting things fired up. Good hard racing out of turn number 10. Mechanical there for one driver. Had to pull in early again. That was the 404 early exit. And again, after getting past that first part of racing, it became RPG versus RPG at the end. Those two drivers fighting for first, while the fight behind them for third, David, Irving, Foster, Bonanno. That main group, Baldus was in there as well. Each one taking a turn to the front. That was a very close call for Bonanno and David. Both drivers able to get through. And look at that crossover maneuver, carrying the speed on the outside. And then once again, that tight line, that defensive line, you don't have the exit speed, and it was Cooper able to get it back by and able to hold off by the narrowest of margins. Phenomenal sportsmanship, too, for those two drivers. And there you can see that's what happened. Baldus in the wall on the outside. But that's your Coastal Inc. recap. We're going to go down to Rob Howden right now with our next Podium of the Day.
As we get things underway here with the drivers here in this KA100 Masters, we're going to add another 4-timer here. But what a fantastic run. We actually didn't see it on the screen because it was so while we were watching the battle for first, and of course the battle at the very end there. But the end, the craziness of it, this driver coming home on the podium, folks, put your hands together. P5 today in KA100 Masters, Carlos Calderon. Awesome drive for Carlos to get himself up there. Look at the adulation. He's absolutely thrilled by it to be able to close up on that fantastic battle that was happening for that 5th, 6th, and 7th position. So many drivers in the middle of the fight for that one. Carlos coming home here in P5. Again, not surprising the battle we had further back behind the leaders. Two of these former SuperNationals champions going at it. Finishing 4th place today for Orsilon Racing, Renato Jader David. Nicely done for Renato there. Great battle back and forth. He worked his way forward quickly and looked like he may be able to challenge to work his way even further forward, but of course the leaders had stretched out. It's good to see this driver here as well. He's a 4-time winner already. He'll be P3 on the road today from Brandon Jarsa Crack Racing, finishing 3rd, Kip Foster. What a fantastic battle. These guys were going back and forth, and not surprising, just such controlled aggression. Every one of these drivers trying to work their way to make sure they were going to be able to get to that P3 position. Good stuff for all three of these drivers. Up front, though, the battle we retreated to came in late. The driver coming home in second almost got that race win, but he put a show on, working his way all the way up to the leader, putting fast laps down. He ends up finishing second. A round of applause from Rollison Performance Group P2 rather, Chris Wareheim. What a drive for Chris, obviously having to come in from a tougher qualifying run, just marching his way forward, and again, almost came away with the race win. So tremendous drive for Chris Wareheim to second win, third, fourth win. Of course, Billy Musgrave with P5, but we're going to add another driver to the four-time club, ladies and gentlemen. He's done it in DD2, he's done it in X30 Senior, done it in Masters as well, twice now. The winner for RPG, Ben Cooper. Cooper with the victory, holding off a challenge, the attack from Chris Wareheim, half a second across the line. That's all it was, 500ths of a second, pardon me, not half, 500ths, 52 thousandths, I believe it was, across the line. And again, Wareheim did everything he could to try to find that way by. Cooper, of course, did all of the defense you could do on the final circuit. And again, Wareheim just coming up a little bit short. Nonetheless, a great drive for both of those drivers. RPG coming home first and second. Fantastic drive as well for Kip Foster, Renato Jader David, and a last lap attack to take full advantage of it. Carlos Calderon. Guys, get those trophies up in the air for us. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you go, our podium in KA100 Master. The confetti flies. Let's get the champagne off here, boys. Pop those. Grip it and rip it, boys. Give it a spray. There it is. The champagne flying down here in Victory Lane. Oh, good catch there, Ben. I saw that. Almost dropped that bottle. Yeah, these are the Masters drivers. They're not spraying. This is real champagne. Little sip to enjoy the fruits of your labors here on a Super Sunday. Congratulations, Ben Cooper, four-time winner here at the SuperKarts USA SuperNationals. Had to defend from Chris Wareheim, who put on an absolute show in the 22-lap main event. Kip Foster in second, Renato Jader David in fourth, and Carlos Calderon coming home P5.